reflection.
There we go. An error occurred. Wait a minute and then try again.
I don't know. I've never had that happen.
The BetSperts Twitter doesn't want to go.
Oh, well.
Me and you are live on tweets, and our YouTube stream is live, and our Facebook stream is live.
What matters?
Hey, guys, welcome to the halftime stream of the first playoff game. The playoffs are here. The winner of this game moves on. The loser is eliminated. I got to tell you, man, I'm heavy under on this one, 47.5. And you know what didn't feel great? Seeing the Colts march, followed by the Texans with a 75-yard strike. And then thankfully there was 8 or 9 consecutive punts then.
Yeah, I was a little worried because it was looking really good. And then I'm like, this is going to end up 24 points. The Colts are just fucking marching. Like, Drew's going to be cranky at halftime.
I was prepared to call it off altogether.
just gonna call it
I was like, once the 75-yard touchdown, I was like, you know what, fuck it.
Andy, I can't find do cats. This. You know, I'm out.
I don't really feel like it.
We can't do it.
I mean, it's still a long way from home. There's freaking 20 points scored in this half already, even though there's been 2 successful drives. And honestly, like, you know what's miserable, Andy? Being on an under in a Colts game, because the clock just does not fucking move. It is it was slow as
very long first quarter.
It's literally the clock is like the sloth from Zootopia. Like it's crazy how many possessions we had in the first half, considering how unsuccessful they were.
You don't even have kids, Drew, and you're calling out. It's usually me with the kids movies.
Well, you know why I know. You know why I know that.
Why?
Because of the viral post of the woman flashing and then him going like super slow. You know what I'm talking about? You've never seen that?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's an incredible.
Here it's great.
Yeah. No, I got my face was red because I got sunburned today. It was hot and sunny here today, and we went on a little booze cruise, and I was out in the elements. I got exposed.
The weather's been nice. Again, we continue to have the El Nino. It's not been bad here. We should talk about this game instead of the fucking weather. But
you know what?
It's about to get nasty.
Okay, if you're let me just postulate you're one of these 2 head coaches. You can pick whichever one. And you want to make an adjustment at halftime. What's the low hanging fruit here, Andy?
I would give Montgomery the wrong directions back to the field. Like, it's not like Montgomery's a bad running back, but like if you didn't have any,
you mean Singletary? You're talking about Singletary?
Yeah, excuse me.
2.8 yards per carry for Devin Singletary. He might as well be Montgomery.
Well, just all of the running backs, just hey, you guys. I need you guarding the locker room. I have this, I have this very important job for you. You must exercise the gaskets or whatever. Remember that Seinfeld, the SEALs. But if they ran the ball, like, not at all. I mean, the Twitter, the DM groups, the Discord, everyone is harping on this. Like, the Colts are stopping the run decent, and they have no coverage skills right now. Their safeties are lost. Those long touchdowns were just bad coverages. They're finding guys open. They could easily just go 75-25 pass or more and probably blow this game open a little bit. I'm sure you wouldn't love if they just continue to maybe you want to see him run. I don't
the low hanging fruit is Shane Steichen pulled Gus Bradley aside on the way through the tunnel on the way into the locker room and be like, Gus, cover Nico Collins, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? They have one weapon that can hurt you, and you're leaving him running amok down the field, single cover with a guy who stinks? Like, what are you doing? Like, that is absolutely the low-hanging fruit. Why in the world was the plan not let's take away Nico Collins and make CJ Stroud beat us with Dalton Schultz and John Mechie and Andrew Beck and Eric Saubart and Xavier Hutchinson? Like, this is so very, 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 very easily defended, and they're not doing it, and it's very annoying. It's annoying. It's so annoying, man. And honestly, like, the home crowd is a little bit of it because the Colts are losing, obviously, which doesn't help a second half under at all. Do
you want to middle this
tightness? Not. Yeah, kind of. Because, like, the tightness of the game, I mean, because number one, I bet I overstaked the under, honestly.
Yeah.
And number two, like, so second half total, we're looking at Texans +1. Over under is 23.5. Fuck.
It's a little tight for a middle.
Teeny weeny middle.
A little tight.
I actually got to hope that there's a couple punts.
Man, I
Texans,
don't think there's
probably.
a bet to be. Honestly, I don't think there's a bet here. I can't bet. I can't make the bet.
All right, hang
Drew,
on.
I've been putting small recommendations and a few bets I've been on every week in the newsletter on Saturdays. I have not hit a bet on a Saturday yet.
Yeah, you did.
I don't
You
think
won.
I did.
Yeah, you won. Nico Collins over is the winner.
Oh, that doesn't count. That was
what are you talking about?
That wasn't mine. No, I'm gonna count it. Maybe that is my.
We talked about that on the pod for sure.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, honestly, like I thought Nico Collins would have more targets than he has had. He's had what, five targets, 5 catches, 129 yards, and 1 touchdown. I will say that both quarterbacks are a little yippy, right? Like there's been some overthrows, there's been some makeable kind of passes, and there's been a little bit of
Minshew tried to make his guy whip his head around.
The fact that this is technically a 1-score game makes me feel a little bit better about the under potentially getting home. So I mean, I'm passing on the second half total of 23.5. That's too high.
If you had to bet one of the team total overs,
actually, honestly, if I had to make a bet on this game, I'm playing under 23.5. That's a big number. Like either,
I was hoping for like a 22.
Because here's what I'm seeing, right? If the Texans score first, field goal or a touchdown and make it a 2-score game, then it turns into like the Colts got to get aggressive and they take Jonathan Taylor a little bit out of the equation. He's been their most effective weapon. So I think that helps it under.
They've had some bad drops.
The Colts,
the game for the Colts has been okay.
Yeah. If the Colts score first, and this is, let's say the Colts score first, and this is like 14-13, like then it literally turns into like staring at each other, punting, field position. Like it really becomes a slog.
Texans start with the ball, correct? Because the Colts had the field goal drive to start the game.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't have. We need somebody in the chat to make a bet. I don't have a bet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive drives that ended in a punt. I can't believe I'm sweating this under with 7.
Barry Horses on the sidelines too. Yeah, where's the Canadian capper? Where are the people? Where are the prop players?
Where's Canadian cap? Cap.
Minshew interception. I wish it were a little bigger. It's
Minshew did overthrow a walk-in. I will tell you this: the Bobby Slowick, he's had some moments where it's like, "What are you doing, man? Like, why are you conceding it down on 2nd and 10? Why are you running here? Like, what are you doing?" But also coming out of the 2-minute warning, the play design was brilliant. You freaking froze that shitty safety and had an absolutely wide open touchdown to Beck, and that was important because like if this was 10-6 instead of 14-6, it's, all of a sudden Texans aren't feeling super in the locker room right now because they outplayed the Colts realistically in the first half. And if they were just 4 points ahead, I don't think they would feel great. Will Anderson has yet to record a sack. Is that correct? Yeah. He's not on the stat sheet at all. Is he playing?
Yeah, he didn't come in healthy. And I think it was one of those where if he was an every down player, he would have been out today. Yeah. But he is situational. He is rotational. They said we can probably get 12 to 15 snaps out of him tonight. Okay. He did have to take one little break, but yeah, I don't know. He gets good pressure when he's in. He had 2 sacks in like 10 or 11 snaps last week, and they are getting pressure. So, what about Minshew?
Slowick is overhyped. I agree with you on. He might get a freaking head coaching job, which is absolutely crazy. What? Over
attempts. That's kind of the game state, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, that said, like the Colts came out, like the Colts, when they were down 14-3 and there's inside the 2-minute warning, they handed it off twice in a row on their field goal drive. It was 1st and 10. It was the deep pass for 16 yards. I'm sorry. 1st and 10 was a JT handoff, then a deep pass, then a pass, then a pass, then a pass, then a pass, then JT, which was just to get into field goal position. So yes, they went heavy pass for Minshew as soon as it was inside 2, which effectively it might as well be inside 2 for the rest of the game for them as they are down 8 and in elimination situation. So
Pie Guy says the 3rd period over in Carolina.
Wait a second. You want an NBA bet? That's probably a better bet than anything.
Should parlay all this stuff?
Oh, the Sixers are losing to the Jazz. You miserable assholes. What a joke. It is
the weirdest part about life here too is like the game state probably, like you said, it probably leads to more passing especially if we see even a field goal from the Texans on this first drive, you're gonna have to start getting a little more aggressive. But like Jonathan Taylor looks good.
Yeah, he's fresh. His legs are fresh. He hasn't run that much this year, and he's a very
like
good
Dalvin
player.
Cook.
He's a very good player. And honestly, like people, myself included, were ballyhooing. We were celebrating how great the Texans' run defense is. Like, you really want to break it down. They haven't played very many good offenses this year.
No.
Like the Texans' defense might.
Both of these teams'
Yes.
schedules. Go look back over the last like 6 weeks. There's been a lot of shitty games.
There's virtually no movement in the market on the side or the total. We are still looking at Colts -1, total 23.5. There's been people pulling on the juice for the total. It got to where under was juicy. Yeah. It's now flat -108. Look, man.
Yeah. I have a teaser under 20. Here too. I'd still rather see the Texans win.
Under 23.5 means full game under 43.5. We have had 20 points scored. Realistically, this is a game that's going to be field position and field goals, not touchdowns. I don't think this is going to bust wide open.
I'll ride. But definitely
under 23.5.
Yeah, if the Texans score on the first drive, I'm going to go find some live Minshew props, which is hard.
I'm going to find some
hard on the offshores. But
if the Texans score in the first half, okay. If the Texans' first drive scores,
yeah, then I'm going to look for some Minshew stuff.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Under 23.5 -108. Oh God, I don't want to sweat this, man. Oh,
you're gonna what? I don't want to sweat this. Bets more. Adds onto a position.
I didn't take any Prilosec today, man.
No bet.
I can't be betting more. No Colts under.
Problem.
Fuck, man. This is gonna be tough.
What game are you most excited for tomorrow that is not Bills Dolphins?
Oh, Patriots Jets, obviously.
Jesus Christ. I knew you were going to say
obviously.
that.
Obviously. Is there even a second best choice?
Oh.
Dude, there's going to be 50-mile-an-hour winds and snow.
I know. It could
that's going to be an absolutely insane game. Insane.
If we do get the really nasty weather, like, I could be pretty pumped for that. I'm excited to see what the Vikings try to pull out in a weird spot. I'm excited to see what the Panthers tried to if they actually try to play spoiler. But the answer is Bears-Packers.
Bears-Packers is going to be
the
great.
Bears.
That's
going to
be great.
Dead, but they're in such a unique spot where it's like, we already got the number 1 pick.
You think that there's like how people are kind of pumping the tires on fields? Like, hey man, if you want to stay in Chicago, you got to win this game. Do you think that impacts him at all? Like, does he hear that?
I think that's been the whole second half of the season. Like, I don't think that's like some secret or something that they're saying behind closed doors. I think it's probably he has to feel that.
He knows it. He knows it.
I mean, just looking at the news around Chicago and any Chicago-based publications, that's been the talk since summer. What if, because it was always expected that, hey, the Bears could be bad. Obviously, Carolina could be bad. Like, there's a decent chance that, like, we're drafting really high again. Is this a Fields year? Is this his last year kind of thing? And I really think they're going to draft a quarterback. But I don't know. Maybe you get something out of him trade-wise. Maybe you keep him. I don't. Honestly, I'm so bad at figuring out what teams are going to do in these spots.
The degree to which. Okay, so let's make sure that this is 2 separate conversations, right?
Yeah.
One is what should they do, and one is what will they do, right? What will they do, I think, is shaded by the fact that they have, like, there's definitely a little bit of a bromance going on between, like, the organization and Fields, right? Like, they love him. Like,
how
much
does that stuff really, how much reality is there to that sort of stuff that you hear? Like, hey, they're really starting to like Justin Fields. The team likes him. The coaches like him. The owners like him. Because it's the same thing we're talking with, the Raiders. Like, oh, man, another veteran player comes out in support of Pierce being the coach next year. Like, you hear this stuff all the time. And then in the end, it's just like, well, yeah, but the owner owns the team.
Here's like another weird kind of thought that I want to think. I don't want to say like that I've thought this through and this is a specific opinion on this topic, right? But like, if you got to pay Fields if you got to pay Fields based on the production you've seen from him, it's not Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson money. Like you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to give him an offer that's fair, that's clearly second tier, right? And if he continues to develop beyond even his year 4, like you could have like a middling contract with Fields where he all of a sudden is a top 6 quarterback in the NFL. That's not crazy.
I think that's the part that's lost is like, it's not does the team like him? Does the coaching staff like him? It's does the team and coaching staff and the development guys feel like there's a chance that he can get to I hate to say Kirk Cousins level.
No, we want to hold him up against Jalen Hurts. Like honestly, like do you think that there is any realistic chance that after another year of play with a team that is better, that you feel like there's marginal difference between Hurts and Fields in terms of quality of quarterback play? I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, it's so expensive, even for like, you're not going to get him cheap because there's so many other teams that see the upside and would pay him more. Like he would probably turn down a shitty offer.
Would he?
I think so. Just there's so many other teams.
If you kind of lean into the, hey man, we fucking love you. We want you to be here. We want you to be a Bear. You're gonna have to do it for $20 million a year. Sorry, man. Like, hey, you haven't shown us enough. Honestly, hey, man, like we want you. But like as you can see, like we're more successful when we're able to populate our team with more talented players, and that only happens if
20 mil's pretty weak. In the quarterback,
he's a young man.
I know,
that. Hey, that
his agent ain't gonna like that.
That goes a long way in Chicago.
It's not that cheap of a city.
He's not buying any drinks when he goes out.
That's fair. Patrick says the strip clubs in Chicago suck. Yeah, I don't know. I would man. Yeah,
Dimes got 40, but Dimes is in New York, right?
Million. Yeah,
that's New York. That's New York City. That's New York City. That's a different type. That's a different
quarterback
different money.
Quarterback market.
Oh,
that's where he's 30. He's worth 30, which is too much. That's what I say. He's worth 30, so you got to cut him. Cut him loose. Try to trade him, get some assets.
I think you can probably. I think you could get a hometown deal with Fields done potentially.
You're honestly, you're talking like you're in a chat group with Fields, and he's just like, I think he'd take the hometown deal. I don't think 20 or 25 is very reasonable.
Okay. But at the same time, like if that's your number, right? That gives you 15 million relative to, the elite quarterbacks out there.
Yeah. I think you'd probably have to pay him 30 a year if you want to do some sort of deal.
That still gives you 10 or 15 to work with.
Yeah, no, it'd be okay, but it's even better is if you really fall in love with, one of these guys in the draft, and you can take any of them. You're again in the catbird spot.
I just wonder if there hasn't been so much emphasis on like there's 2 ways to do it. You got a guy and you're paying him 50. Or you're drafting, right? Like there's at some point there's going to be like an inefficiency in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. And honestly, like if you just trade out of those
picks, do you trust the Chicago front office to find that?
Look, man, I honestly like the real reason I'm thinking this is because like you've seen the offers that were like bandied about that the Commanders put on the table. If that's real, like you keep Fields, take that offer. like you could realistically like for like you're gonna fill your cabinet with so much young talent. Forget about it. Like keep Fields. Like we're just gonna keep developing him. We like him. We like his work ethic. We like how he vibes with our locker room. Like it sends a good message to like stick with a guy that is developing and doing well. Like it sends a good message.
This is a good comment from Fire and Ice. There's no and Fire Ice 39. Like that's kind of where it's at, and that's kind of what Daniel Jones did. We're in the same spot where it's like, man, what do they do? Because he's good enough, but At the
Hey, man,
same time,
the
like,
elite quarterback market has proven to be a little bit of a problem for the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers, right? Like you have no margin for error everywhere else on your roster. You cannot make a mistake like giving Von Miller $100 million. You cannot make a mistake like giving Joey Bosa whatever the fuck they gave him. Like you honestly, you're giving JC Jackson what they gave him. Like you cannot make a mistake anywhere else on your roster if you do have an elite guy that you're paying. So you literally are like, hoping, praying that you have a 2-year window with like a Burrow on a rookie contract and maybe you get one Super Bowl appearance out of it. Apparently, like that's not a fucking good gamble. It's not. It's really not. I don't know. And plus, honestly,
and this thing too, like if they bottle this, they're in a bad spot either way. Like if they decide to pay Fields, middling contract, and he makes no improvements over the next few years, you're in a bad spot. Even with, you draft all the pieces around him. If you don't have the quarterback, you don't have the quarterback. Teams don't win if they don't have the quarterback. But if they trade him, get more assets, and they draft a guy and he just ain't shit, you're kind of in a bad deal too.
Yeah, that's a great point by Milf Hunter.
I know somebody else brought that up.
Milf Hunter. Yeah,
there was a podcast talking about
actually.
that,
What do you think fair comp for Purdy is going to be if he keeps playing like this? Like he's going to be the next $50 million guy. Once you're paying Purdy, like, do you want to hear? You want to know what toxic discourse is going to be?
Yeah,
Purdy contract.
Yeah, $50 million.
Because he's a 7th-round pick. They're gonna have to come up. That's coming up soon, man. That's coming up real quick.
There's no 5th-year option for the 7th. Hey, go pull up the Lance draft. Go pull this up because I want you to.
Okay.
Do you remember what the Niners' original pick was before they traded up?
I think it was 6th, right? Or 12th. 12th, maybe. 12th.
I thought it was 12th, and then they go up twice or something ridiculous. There was like 2 or 3 different trades.
They flip-flopped with the Eagles and then the Miami. Yes.
Yeah.
They went to 6 and then 3. 12th. That's what I remember.
Go look at the guys that were drafted, like, I don't know, 5 through 10 there. I want to say Micah Parsons is in there.
It includes Micah Parsons.
Which, oh no, boo!
Oh my God, dude!
We're not boo-hooing for the 49ers.
Andy. The 12th pick was the Niners, and that ended up being Parsons.
Yeah,
you're correct. 100% correct.
That would have been fun. Who knows if they used him the right way?
Fields went 11th. Devontae Smith went 10th. Patrick Surtain went 2nd. Oh my God, dude! Patrick Surtain on the Niners. Holy shit! Holy shit! Best corner in the league, or among the top 5 cornerbacks in the league on that defense. Whoo! Yikes, man. You know who else was in the mix here? Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penny Sewell. You know who's a nice tackle to go along with Trent Williams? Penny Sewell. I mean, basically that entire stretch was like probably.
I just think it's a good point to point out. Like you can F up huge, and things can still fall your way. You never know. Like,
hey, you can give away your future to trade up to the 3rd pick after you pick 2nd, and things can work out tremendously for you.
Yeah.
That is a humongous fuck up, and it's worked out well.
Yes, you never know.
Yes, the Texans. It's going to be so funny because the Texans' decisions on draft day were a humongous fuck up, and they may end up with the offensive and defensive rookies. Oh, dude, Colts just busted one. Jonathan Taylor is up to 180 yards.
Did you see that? Did you see the preview for the new Ghostbusters? It's like the New York City like freezes or something.
The Texans defense needed to regroup there. 4-play, 87-yard drive, 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's the fucking worst. God damn it. Ugh, we should have played Colts. Fuck.
I mean, I have a teaser. It's living on the edge. I need the Colts teaser, and then I have Broncos in the second leg. Dark horse, Golden Globe bets. I don't know. Give me all the Dark
horse. Golden Globes are going to go to like fucking Oppenheimer and shit, I guess.
Oppenheimer is a big favorite in a bunch of stuff.
The 2-point conversion was good. 14-14. Shit.
Drew, should Embiid MVP backers be worried?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, without
What day
question.
is it?
Yes. I would not have played Embiid. I don't know why you did play Embiid. Why did you play Embiid?
I didn't. It says Holt says that.
Oh, I know. Holt. Why did you play Embiid?
He's very good.
It was always Jokic. Embiid was going to suffer. He was, even if he was keep scoring 50 points a game, he was eventually going to run into a cool portion of the season, and he was going to suffer from the lack of playoff success arguments that cooked Jokic last year. So I think he's drawing dead in that.
It's between Jokic and Nazarene right now. So good.
Heck sent the teeny weeny. It's a big day on the internet for micro penises.
That guy was
the star of the show on the internet today was the guy with the micro penis at the Bass Pro Shop. Do you think that was
if you're hung like a field mouse, maybe don't strip naked for everyone to see. Like, just makes it worse. That's wrong.
Okay. All right. Real quick, last comment, and let's wrap this up. We've been going for almost 30 minutes already.
It's nice out.
Aussie Open on the men's side, there are realistically 5 men who can win, which is more than most of the majors, most of the slams in recent memory. And I say this because my numbers on Djokovic and my personal like spidey sense about Djokovic is like, we got Houston. We got a problem. He played way too deep into the season last year. He looks like he's carrying some injuries. He looks like he is like a wrong move away from. He does not look right. I think realistically, Djokovic still should be your favorite, but I think that price is poison. Alcaraz and Sinner are interesting. Alcaraz, of course, is maybe more interesting because he has done it on a fast court, i.e. Wimbledon. Sinner's numbers say he should be a contender, but he is a little bit of a mental midget, which concerns me. So I got Djokovic, Charlie, Sinner,
Demon Hour,
Medvedev. Medvedev has performed well on this court, and I think he could potentially be a problem. And then Nadal is 5th, and that pool right there makes up something like 98%. No, but he's still like Nadal. He could face a guy who's playing better that day, and that guy could pee down his leg like that. Like that happens. Taylor Fritz did it at Wimbledon, right? Like
just
that
playing best of 5 against a legend. Yes,
Medvedev did it at the Australian Open in the final, up 2 sets, up a break in the third.
What do you think of this? Johan says -122 on the Joker. No.
Yeah, I'm on that. I bet the no.
I like getting 60. Or how many are in the field? It's 120, 123. Why can't I do math? 127. How many people start in the field? Why can't I think of this right now, Drew? Is it 64 or 128?
128.
Yeah, so 127. I got 127 tennis players in my pocket.
127 in your pocket. That's kind of where I was at. Honestly, the women's, you can't bet pre-flop because of the seeding. The 3 best players, in my opinion, are Iga, Rybakina, and Sabalenka. And Rybakina is a little bit of she's a mine. We don't know where she's going to land. She could fuck things up. 4th clearly is Coco, but I think Coco loses to Iga pretty cleanly. Iga's playing really, really, really well right now. I think Iga is probably the bet at anything better than 2-1 if you can find it. I've smashed that enough around that I don't think you can, but if you can, I think Iga's a bet. Interested to see if Rybakina can upset Sabalenka tonight. That one's really going to be instructive.
I wonder about that. Maybe I'll look for
that one's going to be must watch.
Iga plus the men's field. You should probably get, if you can get -120 and like -180, you probably get 4.5, 5-1 on that.
Yeah. Iga looks fucking
plus
ridiculous.
180.
Iga's adapted her game to be better on hard, which maybe gives up. I don't know. We'll see if she can like kind of go back to best of on clay, but she looks like she's intent on trying to round out her career slam. Like that's her next goal.
Sure.
So Yeah,
Yeah, what do you
honestly, I
do
think
when you're at the top?
I honestly, I'll be shocked if Iga doesn't at least get to the semifinals. And if she does get to the semifinals, I think she can realistically take down.
That's the thing, and too, when you're playing either of those other women in that deep of the tournament, they're both melts. Like they're both just mind melts.
Yeah,
Like he is just a much more
Colts defense is playing better, but we need the Houston defense to play. We need the Houston defense to come up with a stop, man. We need like 5 punts here. That wouldn't
just
be the
5
worst.
punts in a row.
Just 5 punts in a row. Is that asking too much? Now that it's 14-14, like this could really grind though. Like now it becomes
the Olympics this year kind of messed with things. How does that affect? Because they're in July, so I guess it doesn't really. Like it just kind of screws up the dumb part of the year there.
It makes the Olympics harder to win a gold. Like if they're like you remember, like somebody weird's gonna win the gold, probably. Yeah, like something weird's gonna happen. Because like Wimbledon goes off middle of championship is mid July.
Is it gonna be clay for like because that's so I only asked
that was my assumption is that they were playing at RG, but
Drew,
I don't know.
If they'd have told you, hey, we're going to Rio de Janeiro where there's a big tournament every year, you wouldn't have assumed that it would have been a hardcore tournament then either. Like,
that's a very
stupid shit for the Olympics.
That's a very, very good point. It's a very, 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 very good point.
Milf Hunter says it's clay. I would assume the French have their shit together here.
Hang on, let me see. 2024 Olympics sports. I should know this because I am an NBC employee, and I'm going to have my fingers in the Olympics in some way, shape, or form. I'm very excited.
They can cut out.
I'm gonna finger the Olympics, Andy.
Stop running. Running commercials is such a waste of money. Sell those commercials. Like no one gives a shit about the Olympics.
Oh wow, you ready for this? The Paris 2024 event is the first Olympic clay court event since Barcelona in '92.
Oh, well, I'm glad Barcelona had their shit together.
It will be contested on clay. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that favors the Euros.
Tico asked if DraftKings allows Olympic betting. I'm pretty sure almost all the legals were
letting you. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, there was a ton of Olympic betting last time around.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap it up. Enjoy it. Go have a good night. I'm glad it was not freezing cold where you are and snowy and nasty. I hope it is. I hope it is freezing cold and snowy and nasty in Foxborough tomorrow for Belichick's last game.
I might bet a snowver. Hit the thumbs up.
Real quick though, just real quick. Do you not agree with me that this is Belichick's last ride in Foxborough? Do you disagree with that?
There's a ton of smoke. I feel like there's some fire. About 6 weeks ago, I wasn't believing it, but it's coming from every which way.
Okay.
Probably.
No. Excited to see it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Oh, you got muted.
Did I?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I don't think he gives a shit if it's his last game or not. You gonna coach any different? You think we get some different game plan? He is the ultimate punch the clock, go to work, do it the same. Here's our game plan. We're prepping for the Jets.
I think he wants to beat the Jets.
Well, he wants to beat every team he goes up against.
Yeah, especially the Jets.
Sure.
All right. Good night, guys.
If there's